Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. Every time we get together with her, we learn more and more how acupuncture supports many different challenges that we go through. Obviously, it can help with smoking, easing pain, lots of other challenges. Today, we're going to talk about your eyes, specifically those things, they call them floaters, where you see something, you see spots, things, just weird things out of your eye. I don't know what causes them, had no idea that apparently acupuncture can support them. And she is somebody that has all those details. Dr. Kelly joins us on the program once again. How are you?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm always fascinated every time we talk with you because these things that, I mean, the whole floater thing. Well, why don't we explain that for everybody that might not know what that is?
Yes, floaters is like people see like something like a little insect flowing around, flying in front of their eye, but like actually there are not. It's actually something wrong with the eye. Somehow you think there's, like little flags, like flying in front of your eye. That's why people call it floaters. Yeah, it's something Chinese medicine can treat, kind of like a surprise, right? But it's pretty effective. I have been treating several patients, and even including myself, and it is very effective.
So before we go into the acupuncture treatment of this, what actually causes it?
So actually, very good question, Steve. Some people actually, including myself, the patients who came to me for floaters, they're actually pretty young. I'm not saying I'm young, but they're pretty young. But we have one common. We all did LASIK surgery. So I'm not sure LASIK surgery is very closely linked to floaters. But that could be one of the reasons. In Chinese medicine, of course, we have our explanation, right? In Chinese medicine, we think it's spleen deficiency. We talked about a little bit before, spleen control the transformation and translation of the nutrients we take in. But when our spleen is not strong enough, we can have the kind of leftover, like dampness, even phlegm into our body. Somehow one of the symptoms is it's kind of like something accumulated in our eye. Then we see the floaters. So in Chinese medicine, it's spleen deficiency. That's one of the cause.
Wow. The LASIK thing, there are side effects with that. One of them, and LASIK is fantastic. I'm not panning it at all, but there are some things that could be, call them side effects. One of them being your night vision. You're very sensitive to light at night or halos when you're driving. You see, like if you look at a headlight, you see another one around it. Like floaters, would acupuncture help with that?
Yes. Yes, LASIK is amazing. I agree with you, Steve, because, after you're done LASIK surgery, you don't have to wear glasses. It's pretty amazing, but of course, like you mentioned, it does have side effect, right? People can have dry eyes. They are very sensitive to the light. They may even have blurry vision, in the evening. But good thing is acupuncture can help to relieve some of these side effects. And it's pretty effective. All of my patients who came in for floaters, they all reported to me they can see things much more clear just after one treatment. And also including myself, I also did LASIK surgery. Actually, my patients inspire me. That's why I love my patients so much. They love me because they inspired me. After I treated them, they said, "Oh, Dr. Kelly, I can see things much more clear now."
Wow.
Just after one treatment. I'm like, okay, I should treat myself then. So I did. I do see things much more clear.
What's going on there when you do acupuncture for challenges with the eyes? What's actually going on?
Yes, Steve, that's a very good question. What's going on? How does it work? Right? How acupuncture can help about the vision? So we do have specific acupuncture points for vision, right? It's the point. It's not that risky, but of course, I have been trained for many, many years, so I know how to put the needle in. So it's safe because I needle myself. It's very safe and it's effective. How does it work? Because I explained Chinese medicine, acupuncture, we can clear some heat. Right? When you have the blurry vision or floaters, one thing is dampness. It's kind of like a dampness accumulated in the eye. When we do acupuncture, we can disperse the dampness. It's kind of like make the floaters going away. So that's why when I do acupuncture on patients, their vision getting better. They can see much more clear because the floaters, it's kind of like going away. It became smaller. Like, for example, for myself, I can literally feel the floaters getting smaller. It used to be bigger. After I did acupuncture on myself, it's getting smaller. That's why you can see things more clearly.
Now, I just want to get out of the way here for anybody that might think that there's a needle going in your eyeball.
No, Steve, it's not going to your eyeball.
I just want to get that out of the way. We know it. We assume others know it, but yes, that's not where the very thin acupuncture needles are going. Not in your eyeball. Don't even worry about that. I wouldn't do that. Right? Where are you actually putting the needles in to support eye challenges?
Good question. So we put the needles, actually one of the point is like the inner corner of the eye, but that is not on your elbow. Okay, that actually is kind of like in the bone, surrounded the eye. So it is safe. It's not on the elbow. One thing is when we do the acupuncture on that point, we usually kind of like use one finger, kind of like push the eyeball away. That's one thing. The other thing is even you try to put a needle on the eyeball, it's pretty hard actually. Very hard to put a needle into the eyeball because our human being body is so smart, it's gonna respond. You're not gonna be able to even you try to. Okay, and that point actually in the bone. So that's why I said it's safe. Also, I got trained for so many years. I needed so many patients, including myself. So nothing risky. Besides that point, we have other points. It's way, way more look safer. Like for example, the point right over here and the point like over here, that also can help. Even the point like over here, that can also help. So we have a lot of points to use to treat the floaters to help about your vision. And also, remember this, we are treating the root. We're tonifying your spleen, which means we're going to also use a lot of points not around your eye at all. For example, we're going to use the points on your leg, to support your spleen, to tonify your spleen, to make your spleen stronger. In that way, there's nothing risky. So you don't need to be scared.
I find it fascinating once again that this goes back to the spleen. Like somebody like myself doesn't know any better would think that, oh, well, it's something connected with your eye because that, you had LASIK in your eyeball. So I would think there was an issue there. What's the connection between the eyes and the spleen?
So, spleen, the organ of the spleen control the muscle. So in Chinese medicine, every organ control different tissue, right? Like liver control the tendon, spleen control the muscle. So on our eye, we have different kind of eye muscle, right? We have eye muscle to lift our eye, close our eye, turn our eye to left or right, up and down. So when our spleen is deficient, our eye muscle kind of like get a little bit weak. When your eye muscle get weak, so that's when you have problem to see things, right? So when we treat root, the spleen, we basically kind of like strengthen your eye muscle, not only your eye muscle, right? We basically strengthen your muscle in your body. In that way, your muscle getting stronger, including the eye muscle, then you can see things much more clear.
Amazing. What about those who have cataract issues and maybe they're going to get it addressed by an ophthalmologist, or they just have trouble seeing, or just vision challenges in general? Does that also tie back to the spleen, and can acupuncture support that?
That's a very good question, Steve. You always ask great questions. Yes,
I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure this all out like the rest of us.
It is linked to spleen, but one thing I have to be honest, if you come in earlier, like this patient very young, pretty young, but they start to have the floater problem, then they come in to get treated. So their vision getting better, their spleen getting stronger. So it's much easier and faster for them to see the result. But if you are already like 80 years old, then you have the problem. I have to say that's going to take much longer, much longer time. Because the problem is so much worse, I would say, so much more severe. I would suggest you come in much more earlier instead of, I couldn't see anything. Everything is so cloudy. Then I come in for acupuncture. That's going to take a long time.
So I'm going to turn the car over here for just a moment. Now, we're talking about challenges with one of our senses, obviously our sight. What about hearing? Let's say tinnitus. Somebody has an issue with that, or other hearing-related challenges. Can acupuncture support that?
Yes, that's a very good question. Actually, I talk about the liver. In Chinese medicine, the organ control different tissue and different body part. For example, liver usually related with eye, and spleen control the muscle, but liver actually control the eye, and kidney control the ear. So let me just go back a little bit about the eye. So when people have vision problem, that can also related with the liver. So when you have a liver blood deficiency, actually you can also have problem to see things. Like you can say, you cannot see things clear, or you may have dry eyes. So back to the ear, the question you are asking, kidney control the ear. When people have tinnitus, right, they have the cicada kind of ringing, or they have the wave, kind of like the wave, like a sound in their ear.
Sure.
That usually either, like if it's a cicada, like a very high pitch, that's usually related with liver. And if the sound is kind of like wave, that's usually related with kidney. So we're gonna ask a question, like then we can say, it's actually related with the liver. You may have a liver failure going on. Then we treat liver. If they are related with kidney, we treat kidney. So Chinese medicine always go back to the root, like liver or spleen or kidney. Sometimes they are complicated. They may have liver, spleen, and kidney deficiency. Then we treat all of them.
My gosh. Is there any way for us to know how these organs are functioning? How would you know, your spleen is doing well, your liver's doing well? Is it basically from a lab test? Would you look at those numbers? What would you do?
Good question, Steve. So in Chinese medicine, we don't really look at the lab test or the MRI or the X-ray. That's good too. I agree. But in Chinese medicine, what we do, we ask 10 questions. For example, like how do you sleep, right? For people who have kidney deficiency, usually they have like lower back pain or knee pain, or they are running cold. That's one of the signs for kidney yang deficiency, actually. People who have kidney yin deficiency, usually they may have like night sweat. They couldn't fall in sleep. It's kind of like kidney yin deficiency. Yin and yang in Chinese medicine should anchor each other. But if the yin deficient, it makes it looks like the yang is like too much. Then you may feel a little bit kind of like hot. That's why if people have yin deficiency, somehow they have the night sweat. They have hot flash, especially for like menopause women, like around their age. For young people, like for young girls, if they have kidney, usually for young girls, they usually don't have kidney yin deficiency. They may have kidney yang deficiency. For young girls, if they have kidney yang deficiency, one of the signs is when they have their period, they have low back pain. Either pain or sore, they feel really sore or really low back pain. I have a young patient, she even have knee pain and ankle pain. So her feet literally hurt when she got period. So she had kidney yang deficiency. And also her hand and feet always running cold. So people have deficiency on different organs usually show different symptoms.
What I'm learning from you, very much so, is that unlike traditional doctors, you listen, you investigate. Many times you go in for a traditional doctor, you explain real quick, they half listen, and they give you something to take care of the symptom. But they don't go to the root cause. Because how could they? They didn't spend enough time. And I think the average time in a doctor's office is 11 minutes, and that includes checking your insurance and everything else. You got maybe 5 minutes if you're lucky with the doctor, and you're saying hello and goodbye included in that. You go to the root cause. It's like you're investigating. The rest of us, who would even think that cold hands would make a difference? One would just think, I don't know, I'm a little chilly today. I don't know. But no, that says something. And you've said before too, Dr. Kelly, the appearance of the tongue in Chinese medicine can be a game changer, correct?
Yes, you are so right. Actually, one of my patient, she's a little bit on the older side. She came to me, she said, Dr. Kelly, I like you so much because you listen to me, you explain things to me, you take your time. I went to other doctors, they literally like you said, like several minutes, they don't listen, they don't have any patience, they don't even want to talk to you. But you explain to me, you answer my question, you address as many problems as much as you can to help me. That's why I feel so nice when I come to your office. And you do help me. After treatment, my neck pain better, even my hands got better, my feet got better. So this kind of doctor is not so much anymore. Like, it's very rare. That's why my patients, they like me, they love me so much. And I love my patient. I sincere in my deep heart, I love my patient. I really want them to get better health. My patient do, their health got better and they are happier, more cheerful. That just make me so happy.
You are personally invested in everybody that you work with. It's obvious. You really care and you have the passion. And when they come back, you remember why they're there, what the challenges are. I'm fascinated how this all goes back to the organs within us, how it controls other things. Like, we wouldn't really look at it that way. And quite honestly, I don't care what you do, just make me feel better. Or like we said today, if you have floaters, that can be challenging. You see things at the corner of your eye, you don't know where it's coming from. Then sometimes I've heard that it can be associated with high blood pressure, that you can see floaters and things like that. Do you do like normal vital signs when somebody comes to see you?
I usually just check their tongue, check their pulse. Because if people have a high blood pressure, usually the pulse can tell me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't really check blood pressure, but I do pulse. I do tongue. I ask questions. That's always.
Just amazing. Wow. How long have you been practicing this, Dr. Kelly?
I have been practicing many years. Yeah. And I got a lot of experience, and I helped a lot of patients. And so far, it's almost everyone, pretty happy with me. And I'm also happy with my patients. They just give me compliment. And of course, I help them. They feel happy. I feel happy. So it's like two-way, like a win-win. That's why, I just love my patient. I don't even want to go to vacation.
Wow. Well, you know what? Your passion shows, and we learned so much from you that acupuncture really can help in many different areas. It's nothing new. It's been around for centuries. And I believe just getting over the aversion to the needle. But again, we've repeated it. I'm going to say it again. The needle is so fine that you can fit multiple of those needles in the needle that they use to draw blood in a typical lab test. That's how fine it is, like basically a little thicker than a hair. And we've said before, you might feel a little something, a little discomfort, little, for a second, maybe a little pressure, maybe not. But look what it can do for you. And most important part here, in my opinion, no side effects. No side effects. You go to the doctor, traditional doctor, you get meds, potential for side effects. Why would you want that? Putting chemicals in your body. Dr. Kelly, what's the best way for somebody to connect? And I know you're in New York City. They have to obviously see you in person, but you can also support virtually for some of the other things that you offer, like herbal medicine and such. How do we find you?
They can call me at 347-885-1865. They can email me at info@kelly121acupuncture.com or go to my website, kelly121acupuncture.com.
Thank you so much for today. Thank you for the insight, and thank you for your passion in helping people. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind, like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind, like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama, like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.